Alright, so I'm going to pose a question. Has anybody noticed the difference between the almonds in the shell and just regular almonds outside of the shell when purchasing them for consumption? Has anybody noticed a difference in how they interact with your body? Because I seem to, on my limited own personal experience, notice a pattern with these being bought in bulk outside of the shell, hurting my lower intestinal gut area, whereas when I have to break the shell open to eat them, then I don't experience any pain in my gut. And I just don't fully understand if it's like maybe a situational issue, maybe it's just I didn't eat enough of these, maybe I just haven't really tested myself enough. But I am definitely convinced that when I buy them outside of the shell, every time they hurt my guts. These are trash. I'm just sitting on trash right now because I can't stand that gut pain that I get. I don't know why it comes about, but it really is closely associated with eating these almonds. And I've heard that they're supposed to be considered raw, but they're still heat treated in some way to kill off possibly bacteria or something that could have potentially taken them over, because the raw ones aren't exactly raw, they're not exactly perfectly safe. But what happens when you want to heat and sanitize them in the shell? Do you turn up the heat? Or is it as important? Is it even important to have to heat the ones in the shell anyway, because they are in a protected cocoon? Maybe these in the shell are the more true raw than the ones that you buy outside of the shell. I'm not sure how that works, but I've had bad experiences with them in this whole form and any other broken down form after that, with pain in my gut. It's like with peanut butter again. I eat any kind of peanut butter and I get heartburn. Okay? And I tried to focus on the natural stuff. It just was no good. But if I buy peanuts, they don't cause the heartburn. But I buy them. I've bought plenty of peanuts now with just the peanuts, not in the shell. Okay, I will buy them in the shell too, but sometimes I buy them not in the shell. Either one, it doesn't matter. In the shell, out of the shell, when I buy them, no heartburn. But when I buy them in peanut butter form, heartburn. When I get the almonds by this way, intestinal pains. In the shell, no intestinal pains. There seems to be a bit of a pattern with the processing. All right, an over processing or an over extending the shelf lifing. Okay, I'm not sure, but I just posed this question because it's been a pattern I've noticed, and it's it's a mystery. I don't know how it comes about like that. Eating the nuts from the shell worked better for my health, I think. Although overall nuts are tough on the guts in general anyway. But yeah, I have no problem breaking the shell. I'll turn my mortar and pestle upside down and just crack away. No problem. Slows down my eating. But just not knowing, I could use more transparency in food processing. I could use a lot more transparency on how these things, how these factories operate. A nice walkthrough from step 1 to step 2 and so on would be very, very helpful. Okay. So, but right now that's my conclusion. Shell is less painful than non-shell. Any pain is going to contribute to cancer, as far as I understand, especially after suffering from my fish oil pains, and they say you could get cancer. I associate the pain with potential cancer.